TCPA consent and regulation changes. That's what we're talking about on this video. For those of you who are not aware, and just to recap, January 27th is a big date for compliance changes when it comes to communication consent. If you want more information, you can search in Google TCPA Jan 27 and you'll find all sorts of articles about what is happening. But to recap, you must gather consent on a one-to-one basis. You cannot buy or sell consent. Previously, lead vendors were batch selling leads and distributing that consent to all parties, whether it was intended or not, to the lead themselves. The lead must give you, the agent, consent. So we're rolling out some assets that are going to help you to clean up your list if you need additional assistance in doing that. I'm going to work through three little mini workflows that are going to be included in the branding bundle add-on section that is now released inside of Agent CRM's Click and Play assets. We're going to run a campaign together so that you can ask your contact list, hey, is it okay if I still contact you? Can I text and call you? Those are the big pieces, especially when it pertains to automated messages and marketing. However, there are a lot of gray areas, and so we're simply providing these tools for you to use at your discretion. Inside of the Click and Play section, you're going to find the branding bundles. Many of you are already familiar with this, but you'll notice there is now a new section, add-ons. In the future, you'll see things like a cross-sell vault, maybe a reactivation campaign, and more bonus add-ons, kind of mini workflows or mini assets that you can bring in. You're going to click import now, and that's going to bring it into your account. What are we giving you? TCPA consent campaign. That's going to be a new folder you can find. Let's go through that together. Point 1, point 2, and point 3. Red means compliance workflows always, no matter what assets you're looking through. Red is a compliance related one. So let's start with 1 at the top. What is the essence? What is the breakdown of this workflow? Well, what we're going to do is just send a campaign, and we're going to say, hey, do you want to stay in touch? I need to update my records. And we're going to send 3 separate emails. You can review the content one at a time. For example, if I go in here and look at the content itself, you'll notice that there's some great copy. Yes, keep me in the loop is the language we're using. Yes, I consent will be in some of the other ones. But all the person needs to do once you send this email is you're going to click, hey, I consent, and that's going to run some things behind the scenes to update your records for you. We've made it as simple as possible. If they don't respond, we're going to wait, and then we're going to send them another one because we really want to get clean, updated records with that one-to-one consent. Check this out here. I consent to receive communication. That's what it looks like in email 2 and 3. All they need to do is click the button. Now, what happens when they click the button? They're actually going to be taken to this kind of generic page that we've built. All people who use these assets we provide, it will lead them to this page. If you want to customize it, you're going to have to build your own. You can redirect the button. Let's see here. You can see here, link URL. You can redirect it maybe to your calendar page if you want. However, by default, it will link to something that we've created on your behalf. Thanks for your consent. Here's how I'm going to use your information. I'm going to touch out about client care, updates, occasional marketing, renewal reminders, all that stuff. Super profesh, super clean and clear for your contacts to review. Now you'll notice in the second workflow that we're including, consent button clicked. They click the button, kind of self-explanatory. If they click the button, we're going to remove the tag that says we're waiting for consent. We're going to add a little bit of administrative notes. We're going to say to the system, hey, they provided that communication consent. We're going to make sure that we have D&D disabled. We want to text them. We want to call them. And then we're going to update the A2P consent opt-in date. That's the one-to-one consent. That is the permission that we're gathering. So we leave internal records for your long-term compliance needs. There is one bonus workflow that we're including. It is a draft by default. Let's go back to the first workflow for a second to illustrate what happens. We send an email. They haven't responded. We send another email. They haven't responded. We send another email. If they do respond, we'll take them out of this sequence. But if they do not respond, if you wish, they will flow into the add DND workflow. If you are concerned about compliance and you are not confident in the quality of your list, maybe you're blasting this to an aged list, maybe you're blasting this to some people who are very cold leads, and you are concerned about any TCPA compliance infringements or infractions, then what you can do is go to the third workflow and you can turn it on. Simply publish this workflow, and what's going to happen if they do not respond to any of the 3 emails? All they got to do is click, but if they do not respond to any of those emails, if you publish this workflow, it will automatically block them from your system sending them texts or making calls. They can text in, but your system will disable your ability to call and text them because you have not gathered an updated consent. Now, we don't know if you've previously gathered consent. We don't know what custom fields you've been using or your process. So we do not want to turn this on by default. You can see here it's optional and up to your discretion how you use this asset. So how do we launch this campaign? Well, again, you're going to import it from the click and play section. Remember, you go to add-ons, select it, import now. It will take just a few moments to bring into your account. I'm going back to the automation section. The first campaign, the actual campaign itself, you can trigger this by adding the tag 0.01 red reconsent campaign TCPA. Now, a quick way to do that, all you're going to do is go to contacts. You're going to select all your contacts if you have any. Let's add one together here. And what we're going to do is in the contact list under smart lists, what we're going to do is select, maybe select all or filter. If you want to filter out tags or filter out specific people so you only send this to your designated audience, you can do that through adding filters and then select all within this view. Next, you're going to click Add Tags. We're just going to leave a little note, send consent campaign. And then if you search TCPA, you'll notice that that comes up. Simply the act of me adding this tag will trigger that first sequence and initiate the TCPA reconsent campaign. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. Contact us in the Facebook group and start a conversation if there's anything that you want to know or would like for us to build in terms of additional branding bundle add-ons or additional compliance needs. We hope that this serves you well, and we are here to support you with all the ever-shifting landscape of compliance and regulation. Thanks for watching.